for the reason that I got a phone call from Fox saying they wanted to do it. I heard that the actors wanted to do it. It was good timing and good fortune. Not exactly, because if you really look at the way we structured it, it would be like a quarter of a season. And so we put in as many mythology episodes as we put into a quarter season, as many standalone episodes, and one comedy episode. So it was really also a feature of who came back to do the show. So when Darren signed on, we knew we did a comedy episode. Glenn signed on, we knew what we'd get. He had a good idea. And then James Wong, and that rounded out the bunch. It's a chance to do good work. Simply, when I got the call, I knew it was an opportunity to tell good stories. I had some in mind. You'll see episode 4, it's something I'd been thinking about for a while. The mythology, how I wanted to come back and reinvestigate it. So it was an opportunity to do some things I've been thinking about. We're in a different time. When the show went off the air, we were putting all our faith in the government after 9/11, and we're in a different time now. And if you sort of paying attention to what's going on online and alternative media, there's a lot of talk about possible conspiracies, and so we wanted to be true to the kind of time that we're living in. Plenty of material.
Are you bringing back Doggett and Reyes?
Yes. No, unfortunately, Robert Patrick Doggett was unavailable. He has another job. So that's one of the people. Alvin Kirsch, their boss, was unable to come back. Also, he's got a job. So I'd say those are the two people that we were unable to bring back.
And Reyes?
Reyes comes back.
I find it a lot harder to work through the night. I don't know what to say. It's some of it's harder and some of it's easier. The hours are harder. The acting is easier. I think we're all better. We've done a lot of work since we started that show. A lot of that work was that show. We got better. I don't. I could look at like the first season of the X-Files as opposed to the 7th or 8th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and I see different actors. I'll talk about Jay and so that just continued on afterwards. We both, I believe, have gotten better. So that's kind of fun to bring that to the same characters. Bring the ability to access maybe more than we could have back then. Yeah, well, this will give you an insight into how different it is to do a show as opposed to see a show. I felt nothing about doing it. All I wanted was for it to rip correctly. And how many posters do I have a shot at ripping correctly? So I had no thought about kicking the actual sacred poster. Just like, let's fucking get it right, because we're going to run out of posters. And then it's going to look like shit, and then we're going to feel bad. So I generally, maybe when I read it, I thought, oh, nice move, nice writing, nice idea. Chris wrote that part. Really on the day I was like, oh, yeah, we got to make sure this thing works. It doesn't work. I mean, it's affected my life in that it started my career. It gave me many opportunities. It gave me a lot of money. It gave me, it's all great things. Most of all, it gave me the opportunity to go to work every day and act for 14 hours a day for 8 years. So I got to create my own acting school. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm always happy to work. I like working. I like, yes, I'm happy to do it. I enjoy the people that I work with, and I think the show's great. I couldn't be prouder of the entire show, from the first season to what we've done now. So there's so much of it that I'm grateful for, but I don't think of it. It's such an interior thing for me. It's like if you play a sport, at some point you stop thinking about hitting a tennis ball. You just hit the tennis ball. So I just do the X-Files. I don't think about it. It's to come back at whatever age I am now, 54 when we started that one, and to to go, okay, what's 54-year-old Mulder? He's not 30-year-old Mulder, because that's gross, you know. And yet, he's not a different guy. So now we're kind of in this place where we're all wondering, like, yeah, he's kind of the same, he's different. That's challenging, because it's not, I can't just go, okay, now I just wear black and I've got a French accent. You know, I've got to make changes, but they can't be that obvious. And that's challenging and interesting to enact. It's amazing to me that, you know, we kind of ended the show right before, you know, phones and internet happened. And yet somehow we've kind of created a life in this internet world. And that's, I don't know how that happened, because we weren't really around for that. It's my impression that the frame of the show is so very flexible that we could tell stories for a long, long time. You know, so I'm probably being disingenuous when I say that I hope there are stories to tell. I'm sure there are. It's just a question of Chris wanting to, Jillian wanting to, and me wanting to, and of us all getting together in the same space to do it. You know, it took us a long time to do that. So I hope, no, I don't want to hope, but you know, it's possible that we could all find ourselves in the same city for 3 months again.